Good evening, everyone. Sorry for our tardiness, and thank you for being here. I'd like to call this meeting to order. It is our Yeadon Borough Council meeting, legislative session. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Right. Now, Mr. Secretary, can you please proceed with roll call, beginning with our esteemed mayor?
Thank you, Madam President. Mayor Rowan Hepkins.
Present.
President Latoya Monroe.
Present.
Vice President Leanna Rocloud.
Present.
Councilor Nicole Beatty.
Present.
Councilor Antoinette Trueheart.
Present.
Councilor Michael Trent. Councilor Jesse Peets.
Present.
Councilor Loren Johnson.
Present.
Sean Kilkenny from Kilkenny Law, our solicitor.
Yep.
Nafis Nichols, our finance director. And Yolanda Hughes, our tax collector, is not present. And Megan from Pannoni Engineering is not present.
Because she is
Because she's
getting an
accepting
award.
a major award. We're very proud of her.
She let us know at our meeting, at our last meeting. So thank you. We do have a quorum. We can continue. Next up, we'll have our citizens forum. And we'll start with Stacy Johnson. Do I go over here? Yes, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Stacy Johnson. I'm a proud resident of Yeadon since 1978. I don't come that often, but I do come. I want to say thank you to Mr. Cave, to Carla, to Jamie from Public Works Department, to Connie, and everyone who worked so hard to make sure our trash was finally picked up this week. My problem is, too often, they skip us. I'm on the last block of North Longacre before we go into Philly. And I think it's a public health hazard when they don't pick it up. And I think you all should somehow put a contract or a clause in the contract with the trash carrier to say they have to come back within 24 hours if they miss it. I don't know how they missed it. I don't think it's that hard to go up and down the blocks, but they not only missed my block, they missed a couple other blocks. And that was this past President's Day. So that's about it. Thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Johnson, if I could just inform you that we do have a clause in our contract.
Oh.
They are fined for every household that they miss.
Oh, wow.
So your best bet would be to call us and let us know. Public Works will definitely assist in the removal and then charge it back to them.
Okay, well, Mr. Cave knows,
Okay,
because I came up to Borough Hall.
perfect.
Thank you.
So you did the right thing, thank you. And I'm sorry that happened. Claire Johnson?
Good evening to everyone. Good evening, Council. I'm here to speak about Graceland. I have spoken with Mike, the Public Works Director, in reference to Graceland. There are signs at the Public Works building that has an ordinance number on it and a fine attached. Perhaps Council can look into that to post, not just for Graceland, but for all the borough properties. We are looking at beginning to upgrade of Graceland sometime beginning April or May. And I want to show a picture to Council. You can pass this one. As to what we are looking to kind of like bring it back to. Maybe not exactly to what you're seeing there, but something to represent what is on that picture. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Francis?
Mayor, President, councilors, borough manager, solicitor, and if I missed anybody, and residents, good evening.
Good evening.
I'm coming here before you. My question is, we're starting a brand new year, and we're still seeing trash blowing up and down the street. I know Public Works is doing their best to get everything done, but we all moved here to have a clean environment and relax and enjoy the community. And I believe, as certain other councilors have said, that we basically want to have quality of life. So I came here to find out where we can encourage our residents and their visitors to please pick up their trash. It's not fair for the trash company to come pick up things, and Public Workers is doing their best to try to get things done. So I'm just asking, I'm going to send an email out to all my friends about this, but we do enjoy our quality of life if we can stop having trash blowing up and down the street. Okay? The second thing I wanted to piggyback on what Claire Johnson said, I want to thank her for spearheading the project in 2023 about maintaining Graceland Cemetery. It's a good project. We had a good time over there, and I'm just hoping, again, that these kids or whoever can make sure they stop throwing trash around there and keep it safe, okay? We have to honor and respect those who were buried there. I have a picture of, this is what sent several years ago to the community about keeping the streets clean. And the other picture is those that were at Graceland Cemetery. Thank you for your time.
Madam Chair,
Madam Vice President?
can we have the borough manager post something on our website with respect to keeping our streets clean, so forth and so on, in addition to adding it to our newsletter?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so every time someone opens up that website, they'll see little notes of encouragement.
Love it.
Okay. Next up, we have Darian Hamlin.
Oh, yes, how you doing?
Hi.
How is everyone?
Good, thank you.
I was here, I don't know, last year, December, I don't remember which time it was, but it was about the hole in my street. And y'all said someone would look into it back then. I've been to several meetings and I've waited and waited patiently, and I still haven't heard or seen anyone come out there. So I'm wondering what's going on with that. If someone could help me, please. In between 1225 and 1241, there's a big dip in the street that comes by all day and night that we hear.
He did the next.
Okay. So I'm going to defer to our
Mango
Public
Drive.
Works Director.
Excuse me?
Our Public Works Director is here. He looks like he's on the edge of his seat to say something.
We
Yeah.
did address that. We cleaned that line. We ran a camera down there, and we found 2 small breaks in the main. Nothing severe, but there are some issues there that we're addressing. We were there for about 4 hours one day. I'll get you the exact date. We were there. We took care of that. It's on the...
So that's under, does that fix the dip in the street, or is that
Yes.
just the assessment?
No, the assessment of why the ditch is in the street. We have a
Okay.
small break in the sewer.
Okay, and then, so what would be then the course of action?
The next remedy is to actually put some blacktop over the small bits to keep it safe, and then we're going to have to get a contractor out too, see how much it's going to cost to fix the damaged sewer.
And a general timeline, something that we might not hold your feet to the fire, but very close.
Tomorrow for the patch work, it's already been scheduled, and next week I have the contractor out and give us an estimate, and we'll see what it's going to cost, and we'll go from there. So within a week or 2, we can have something started.
Okay.
I'll give you the actual date, so I'm sorry you missed us. We were out there for a good while.
All right, thank you very much. Next up, we have consideration of the January 9, 2025 caucus meeting minutes. Is there a motion?
Seconded.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question? Hearing none, can we proceed with our roll call vote?
President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Roquelau,
Yes.
Counselor Beatty,
Yes.
Counselor Trueheart,
Yes.
Counselor Trent,
Yes.
Counselor Peets,
Yes.
Counselor Johnson.
Yes.
That vote is unanimous, the motion carries. We have consideration of the January 16, 2025 legislative meeting minutes.
Seconded.
Having been moved and properly squared on the question? Hearing none, can we proceed with the roll call vote?
President Moreau,
Yes.
Vice President Rowe,
Yes.
Counselor Beatty,
Yes.
Counselor Trueheart,
Yes.
Counselor Trent, Counselor Peets,
Yes.
Counselor Johnson.
Yes.
That vote is unanimous, the motion carries. Next up, we have our mayor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. I have two items to report. First is the next Mayor's Forum has been moved up to next week. It'll be next week, February 27th here, 7 o'clock in Borough Hall. We do have a couple of items. One of them is for the meeting will be fire prevention, fire department introduction. And also the next item, if council approves the officers that I'm about to ask a motion for, we could swear them in next week as well. So, having said that, the
Okay,
mayor's forum.
at the mayor's
Yeah,
forum.
at the
got it,
mayor's
okay.
So I'm asking council for consideration of hiring 3 officers that were vetted by the testing by the Civil Service Commission, and hiring Donald Bees, Brendan McElwee, and Jason Bendit as full-time police officers for the Yeadon Police Department, contingent upon successful completion of a background investigation, medical, physical, psychological exam, and polygraph. That is my report, and if Council and Madam President, if you could consider that for a motion.
All right. Is there a consideration for this motion?
Madam Chair,
Madam Vice President?
I make a motion to consider, I make a motion to hire Donald Breeze, Brendan McElwee, and Jason Bendit as full-time police officers for the Yeadon's Police Department, contingent upon successful completion of a background investigation, medical, physical, psychological exam, and polygraph.
Second.
Well then, see how this is going to go. Having been moved and properly seconded on the question? Hearing none, can we proceed with the roll call vote?
President Moreau,
Yes.
Vice President Rowe,
Yes.
Counselor Beatty,
Yes.
Counselor Trueheart,
Yes.
Counselor Trent,
Yes.
Counselor Peets,
Yes.
Counselor Johnson.
Yes.
That vote is unanimous, the motion carries. And
That ends my report, Madam President. Thank you.
thank you very much. Next up, we have our manager's report. I'll take the, I'm going to revise some of the wording in these subsequent motions. So next up, we have consideration of employee 10273, currently serving as a code enforcement officer, with a probationary extension until March 20th, 2025. Is there a motion?
moved. Second.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question, well, this is a personnel matter, so we won't be entertaining questions here. We will proceed with our roll call vote.
President Moreau,
Yes.
Vice President Rowe,
Yes.
Counselor Beatty,
Yes.
Counselor Trueheart,
Yes.
Counselor Trent,
Yes.
Counselor Peets,
Yes.
Counselor Johnson.
Yes.
That vote is unanimous. The motion carries. Next up, we have consideration of employee number 10274, currently serving as front desk receptionist, hall coordinator, with extending the probationary period until March 20th, 2025.
So moved.
Seconded.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question, it's personnel. We'll be moving on to our roll call vote.
President Moreau,
Yes.
Vice President Rowe,
Yes.
Counselor Beatty,
Yes.
Counselor Trueheart,
Yes.
Counselor Trent,
Yes.
Counselor Peets,
Yes.
Counselor Johnson.
Yes.
That vote is unanimous. The motion carries. And would you like to take over from here?
Sure.
And update your report if necessary.
Sure, thank you. President Moreau, I'd like a motion to consider the approval of Resolution 2025-002 to appoint Eliza Ford to the Zoning Hearing Board for a term of 5 years.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question,
Madam Chair,
Madam Vice President?
I need to ask the solicitor and your question on the side.
So are you asking to then amend the motion?
Yes.
Okay, so Council Rollcott is proposing that we amend the motion for consideration to approve Resolution 2025 to appoint Elisa Ford to the Zoning Hearing Board for a term of 5 years effective today.
So,
Seconded.
Okay, do we take a vote on the amendment? Yes. All right, we need to take a vote on the amendment.
President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Roquel,
yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
Councilor Trueheart,
Yes.
Councilor Trent,
Yes.
Councilor Pete,
Yes.
Councilor Johnson.
Yes.
All right, that vote is unanimous, the motion carries. And that was on the amendment, now we have that on the motion, we can take our roll call vote as well.
Yeah, so I'll just reread it for clarification. Consideration to approve Resolution 2025002 to appoint Elisa Ford to the Zoning Hearing Board for a term of 5 years effective today.
Seconded.
All right. Having been moved and properly seconded, let's proceed with our roll call vote.
President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Roquel,
Yes.
Councilor Beatty,
Yes.
Councilor Trueheart,
Yes.
Councilor Trent,
Yes.
Councilor Pete,
Yes.
Councilor Johnson.
Yes.
That vote is unanimous, the motion carries.
That concludes my report, Madam President.
Thank you very much. Next up is our solicitor's report.
Thank you very much, Madam President. Just to announce, council had an executive session before this meeting on personnel matters. Also, too, our office in the last month, Ms. Bryan especially, has been working on attending summary appeals for various code violations on behalf of the borough. She has been involved in preparation for litigation with 1024 Church Lane. She's been assisting the borough manager with the preparation of one of our newer initiatives on the land bank property referrals. She's been working with the borough regarding upcoming sheriff sales, and our office is handling following all liens against delinquent property taxes within the borough. That will conclude our solicitor's report.
All right, thank you. Next up, Mr. Nichols for our tax collector's report.
Madam President and Council, good evening. We are moving steadily with the 2025 bills. Residents should have their bills in their mailboxes at this point in time. Effective tomorrow, you will be able to make payments online. We had to upload a file or two today, and it will go live tomorrow morning. Also, office hours for the tax collector right now are on Wednesdays for people to come in to make payments, but we do encourage individuals to come in and still drop in our lockbox the payment so that they can be posted. That is the tax collector's report.
Thank you. We received our engineer's report last week. Is our manager or our finance director, anything to update? All right. Next up, we have finance and consideration for the accounts payable list for February 2025.
So moved.
Second. Having been moved and properly seconded, on the question,
Question.
Councilor Trent?
Yes, on page 1, for the borough calendars, I mean, that's an expenditure. Where does it show the revenue side of it?
So in your budget versus actual report that you see, that you received as well, if you look at the line that says donations and contributions, the dollars hit that account,
On which report?
the budget versus actual.
I saw something on there, but it didn't match the same total.
Well, you're probably looking at, some came in November, some came in December, some came in January. So as checks come in, we post on a monthly basis and they go into that category. But I can give you an account for all of the donations that came in. The calendar was late, I will say, because we had to wait for those donations to come in and also for the graphic designs from the sponsors to come in. And they came in fairly late, but it was enough to cover the calendar. When we market and advertise it, we price the slots to cover the entire cost.
All right, now, naturally, because of delays, is there some way we can improve that process for this coming year?
Yes, we've had detailed, lengthy conversations about that, yes.
And one of my suggestions was to add January into the following calendar, so that should the calendar be late,
13-month
they already, right, a 13-month
And we're
calendar.
starting a lot earlier next year.
Yes.
Another question. I know we paid Brandywine Valley SPCA for straight animal services, but we have another one for Delaware County Animal Control, Wild Animal Services. What's the difference?
So, and I'm gonna probably on the cheap, one will not pick up dogs, and the other won't pick up anything but dogs. That's correct, right?
Yeah, yes.
So that's why we have the two, because again, one only picks up dogs, and then the other one will pick up everything but dogs.
And I had
And-
I asked for clarification about
I got yelled at, yeah.
some of these exorbitant costs as well, but, then we did confirm that, we're not just picking up the lost pets. These are, groundhogs, skunks, just wild animals that are out and about, not the domesticated kind.
And the unfortunate thing is, they're the only game in Delaware County. So I know that a lot of municipalities are trying to talk to county council to see if we can do something similar to what Montgomery County or Chester County does to bring the cost down. So we're not alone in this.
Right.
And the chief can tell you, all the police chiefs I know in my other municipalities scream up and down because animal control's in their budget and they blow it because unfortunately, this is the only game in town.
Another question. Okay.
Going to Councilwoman College.
No, I was just wondering, I know we have engineers that do a lot of our improvements, so I hadn't heard of the Ernell Company doing contracted services at Yeadon Community Park.
Yes, and that's a grant.
That's separate that's from a grant?
Yeah.
Because I didn't see anything on any of the grants with their name mentioned, that's why.
Yeah, we awarded them a bid, your council actually awarded them the bid to do the community park. And that's a grant from DCNR and Delco Green Space. So it was two grants. We got one grant to cover the borough's match.
So our engineers secures the grants, and then we have to find the contractors to actually execute. They don't have a construction team, the engineers don't.
I just didn't see anything to balance that amount, 95.
Well, I know for a fact that's Arnell's third invoice because today I actually signed off on a completion report so that we can draw down, we'll be drawing down $297,000 from the state to cover the entire cost. So it's probably complicated because they're progression payments. So as work gets done, we make a payment, so on and so forth. We don't just pay it all right out. That's why you don't see it kind of match.
Okay.
All right, one more.
Last but not least, no, we actually for that month, we paid a lot for our legal fees, which was kind of high. It's like almost 18,000, which is, looks like it's over budget for that. Will that be coming down? Because that should be consistent.
And again, the legal fees are contingent on what goes on in the borough and what council assigns a solicitor to take care of. So I know sometimes when we do things, when we did the Frankie Francis thing, for example. I don't know if
The
I said it or not.
1024 Church Lane?
Yes, that thing, 1024
Okay.
Church Lane. We tried to recoup some of the legal fees, so we do try to do that. When we abate property, we try to include the legal fees on there. When we do recoup legal fees from, the past due amounts the delinquencies for trash and sewer. Legal fees are baked into the amount that the resident pays for it being late as well. So it offsets. And I know I will do a better job of showing you where we offset some of the expenses that you see. I'll try to simplify it. That budget versus actual sheet that you get is complex and hard to follow because it also depends on the fund. There are 7 different funds in there. I don't know if you know that or not. It's 17 pages long. So some legal fees are actually recouped maybe in the sewer fund, but all of the legal fees come out of the general fund. And then at the end of the month, when we do reconciliations, there's a due to, due from. You probably heard me say that before, where we will have to transfer funds from one fund to another fund based off of that reconciliation. So sometimes even with Pannoni, a lot of Pannoni's costs are baked into grants. Though you see them getting $37,000 checks, I would say that you need to look at the general services that they provide to the borough, which equate to about $9,000 a month. And that's what's budgeted, but the other dollars are tied to grants.
Well, which ones are included in contracted services that we see on our, budget to actual reports? Because that's not something we actually approve.
You do. Anything that's in contractual services is approved here.
Well, I mean, it seems like for, currently, we're over budget with contracted services.
I don't think so, it's February.
So maybe you can sit with Mr. Nichols and have get an explanation.
I mean, I can give an example.
Well, not, that wouldn't be here right now, because we're in the middle of a motion for an explanation. I mean, but you don't have to vote on it if you're not comfortable.
That's something separate.
We like to hear.
I don't think that talking through it is something that would be easy to follow, but thank you. Vice President Roadcloud?
We could, we can put a screen up and we can kind of go line by line and show you how to do that.
Absolutely. I think that would be helpful.
Yeah, it would
So
be.
that people can follow.
That people understand.
Yeah, because if you don't do this on a regular basis, it can be difficult to,
Yeah.
and particularly understanding when you have to reconcile at the end of the month where funds go back into credit and, and you don't always see that here.
Because,
But-
not to cut you off, Madam President, but if you go to like the bottom lines at the end of each fund, you'll see that we're actually running a surplus in the funds. But you might look at a line and it shows that it could be over, but that could be because of a number of things. It could be a due to, due from that hasn't been done yet because the project is still open. The library, not to pick on Darlene or anything, but your construction has been done since when? The spring of last year? But because of the grant closeout stuff, it just got reconciled in January. So once it's reconciled, that amounts out.
Madam President, if I may.
But Vice President Roadcloud has been waiting
Oh,
patiently to ask a few questions.
go ahead.
If they weren't,
If Councilor Trent's questions are completed.
Well, I'll talk to,
Oh, okay, great.
all right, and I'll come to you. Ready, deal? I'll come to you next then. All right.
Okay, I see something on here for trash billboard magnets. I didn't know, what are those?
So we're going to be sending out magnets to every resident that kind of talks about trash. Crystal can explain it better than me, but it's pretty much the trash calendar in detail. It's another tool just so that somebody can go to and see that. we used some proceeds, we got some extra recycling dollars in, so we used the proceeds from there to do that.
Oh, okay. Okay, good. Yes.
Yeah, people
with
complain about that. Go
sorry.
ahead. I just say people complain about, they don't know when, and they get confused a lot.
Yeah, so
Oh.
this is like something
Yeah.
really simplified that you can put on your refrigerator and kind of follow, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, great, thank you. With respect to Brandywine, I know we did have several conversations with respect to putting some sort of plan in place to collect, to be reimbursed for people.
Bring it back. You pushed it
Oh,
away.
I said, my I say bring it back. We did have several conversations with respect to coming up with some sort of plan in an attempt to get some sort of reimbursements from individuals who lost their dog, and we had to call them Brandywine, and they picked their dogs up. How is that coming along? Are we successful?
Brandywine, if somebody actually comes to claim the dog, which we haven't had that success, they will give us the owner's information, and we will, I guess, bill them and try to recoup the money that we spent at Brandywine.
Oh, okay.
That's if they come and collect their dog. If they don't
Right.
come and collect their dog, then,
So it doesn't seem like anyone is collecting their
no, it's a
dog.
lot of dogs are not being, yeah, unfortunately, it's.
Okay, all right. And that's it. That's it, thank you.
All right. Councilor Johnson?
Thank you. I just want to state that often people are not, they kind of understand things more when it's visual. A lot of people can't look at that spreadsheet and truly understand what's going on. So if you give that visual for people, for the residents to see it, I think they would understand much better.
So I do think that there are more extensive explanation is provided during budget season while we
true.
are. So you would just have to make sure that, you know, you attend those. I think that explaining it at every meeting will
No,
take us
not
into
every
the.
meeting.
I know, but I mean, it will take us into the night if we don't.
No, not every meeting.
If we don't remember or understand what's happening. So I think I would propose a Zoom or a webinar to kind of go through it, or maybe something that can be recorded and posted so that understand, because the budget is going to be very fluid. Until it's closed out. So that's just the nature of accounting. And if anyone has ever taken the 101, you probably stop right
complex.
there.
Yeah.
It's the 102.
Right, yeah. Madam Chair, if I just have one comment question. In reference to animal control with the cost, does that always get passed on to the borough? And I ask only because I had an issue on my property and had to call them. And, you know, they had to come set traps and we had to pay for that.
And it doesn't always come on the borough, it's on your property or your house.
Okay,
That's on the resident.
okay.
All right.
Madam Chair, I'm sorry. One more. I'm looking at Hoff Communications. It looks like we have more expenses than usual this month.
So there was a reissue that should be on there from last month. The check got damaged and we reissued the check, and that's included in that amount on the appeals.
Right, but I also see 2 web design services we were charged for. Yeah, one was for $1,012.50, and another one was for like 600 and some odd dollars. But it's 2 separate entries for that. I also see some social media services, and of course, you know, our newsletter.
So I'm looking at the invoice. And we're basically charged based off of what we send to have posted to the website. Based off of the invoice that I'm seeing, that's probably why it's a little higher. It's outlined, like it's talking about the holiday schedule, the mayor's forum, committee meetings, minutes, public alerts, forms and permits, Yeadon's future invitation platform, I don't know what that is. library events, recreation events, committee meetings, MLK postings, YouTube meeting, video. So it's detailed in the invoice.
So there's two separate invoices?
There are. Mhm.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure, because I seen two separate entries for it, and I was wondering why. it's
So, I
two
mean, there are
separate
things,
entries.
there are things that are kind of consistent that we can expect to happen on a monthly basis, but then there are other things like the snowstorms and the unexpected items. So what did the smaller one entail? The
Because it
smaller
does say that
invoice?
when we do little things like that. See, this one here is talking about the implementation. Oh, we did something different for the code department. It looks like we have the permits and stuff up there
Yes,
now.
she's automating the forms and the permits for students to make them an electronic process.
So that's on the second invoice that I'm looking at here now. That talks about that.
All right. All right. So can we proceed then with our roll call vote?
Yeah.
President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Roeplout,
Yes.
Counselor Beatty,
Yes.
Counselor Trueheart,
Yes.
Counselor Trent,
Yes.
Counselor Peets,
Yes.
Counselor Johnson,
Yes.
That vote is unanimous. The motion carries. Next up for consideration is the accounts payable list additions for February 2025.
So moved?
Second.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question? Hearing none, can we proceed with our roll call vote?
President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Roeplout,
Yes.
Counselor Beatty,
Yes.
Counselor Trueheart,
Yes.
Counselor Trent,
Yes.
Counselor Peets,
Yes.
Counselor Johnson,
Yes.
That vote is unanimous. The motion carries. And lastly, in this category is consideration for the January 2025 cash balance report.
So moved.
Second.
Having been moved and properly seconded on the question? Hearing none, can we proceed with our roll call vote?
President Monroe,
Yes.
Vice President Roeplout,
Yes.
Counselor Beatty,
Yes.
Counselor Trueheart,
Yes.
Counselor Trent,
Yes.
Counselor Peets,
Yes.
Counselor Johnson,
Yes.
That vote is unanimous. The motion carries. Is there anything else for finance, Mr. Nichols?
No.
All right. Ordinance and zoning?
Madam President, the report from caucus stands as presented, please.
Thank you very much. Public Works?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
My report from caucus is as stands. I just have a few updates. We spoke about the gas main project from Wycombe Avenue to Fairview. They are starting in Darby from McDade Boulevard and Wycombe and heading this way. So we should not have any interruptions for at least a month or so. So we lucked out there. And I'm probably gonna piggyback off the chief, but our passport parking, we have started to remove meters and put in the proper signage. Penn Street to Myra Avenue started today, so you'll notice the signs coming up, and the chief will finish up on this. Meters are being removed, and that program will be starting. And that ends my report. Any questions?
All righty. Thank you very much.
I know you're talking to the gentleman about potholes and problems. Have they looked at, it's like Allen Drive and Searle, there's a couple right around in that area,
You say potholes or sinkholes?
potholes.
All right, we're out doing potholes extensively this week, so I'll make sure that goes on my list.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Counselor Beatty?
This is more directed to our manager. A lot of people don't know what passport parking is. I only know because I go to Medium, and it's what they use out there. So we need to put that in the newsletter, and we need to explain to residents that that is an app that they need to download, all of that.
We discussed that in detail today as well. But yeah, that'll be absolutely in there.
All right, and, oh, this might be for the chief. So what are you doing now? Because the meters are starting to disappear, so you're just not collecting any.
We're gonna wait until it's posted on the website. I'm not sure when it's gonna be posted on the website, and then we're gonna start, utilizing Passport.
Okay,
Once
thank
it's posted on the website, everything's up. So we're waiting for the implementation of all the signs, and then we're going to go Passport.
Okay, thank you very much.
New York coins cheap.
That's-
I like getting it $2.50 a week.
I have a question. Do we have a timeline?
Waiting for the signs to get up and then the advertisement to be placed, so that's what I'm waiting, that's what we're waiting on.
So what's the timeline? Estimate?
I think we could be finished by Friday of next week.
Friday of next week?
All signage and meters can be down by Friday of next week.
Okay. And thereafter, it's a go?
Everything else is in and ready to rock.
Okay, so,
Monday the 3rd.
Monday the 3rd?
Monday the 3rd.
March 3rd?
I like that.
So, March 3rd, okay, all right. One more question.
Sure.
With respect to the storm, this past storm we just had, do you anticipate any street closures due to trees that have to be removed?
No more this week, no more this week, absolutely. Everything else has been cleaned up and we should be good for that,
Okay,
yes.
okay, good enough, thank you.
All right.
Okay.
Madam
end
Chair?
my report.
Just, so Passport is live right now?
No.
You can go on the app and, okay.
Wait, we're not live.
Monday the 3rd.
Monday the 3rd, okay.
Monday, March 3rd,
Okay.
Yes.
2025.
All right.
Platform is set up and we're just ready to get the signs installed.
Hello. Y'all want me to pick this up?
Madam President.
Thank you. Councilor Trent.
No, I know we can advertise on the website to the citizens, but we have businesses that have people from outside the area to come in, you know, like the hair salons. So how are we letting them know?
The signage.
We're
So,
taking,
Signs.
the borough manager and I will be taking a walk to every business next week and let them know it's coming. So we already planned that we're going to go in all those businesses and let them know. We'll put signage in the business, let them know it's coming.
that is not that confusing. We're replacing, it's not. And I'm not saying like actually downloading the app might be a little bit more difficult, but there were parking meters there before. Now there's a different kind of parking meter, and the meters themselves will have directions on it. You'll even be able to scan a QR code and, you know, all of those things. So, all right, Passport.
And I don't think a walk is necessary. I don't think a walk is
I
necessary.
can lose some, so.
Okay, I mean, if you want to just send them a little flyer, yeah, I mean.
Let the people walk. Let the people.
They don't care.
All right. There ends your report. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next up, we have public safety, more Passport talk.
Good evening, all. My report stands as read at caucus. I just wanted to, just some updates. I want to thank everyone on council and the mayor. We're getting a great selection of individuals. You have 26 years of experience coming. They're unbelievable officers. Like I said at the last meeting, it's a great talent pool. I mean, I feel like Howie Roseman, and I think we just got, you can say Saquon and Patrick Mahomes, and, you know, I mean, it's, well, no, I'm saying as a backup, he'd be a good backup, you know, and, but no, they're unbelievable experience. Like I said, 26 years combined. They know the area well, and the officers downstairs are excited to get them, and that's all they keep talking about when they saw the names. So it's going to be a great addition to a great team already, so thank you.
Fantastic.
And as we talked about Passport, it'll be March 3rd. It'll be up and running, so.
All right. Is that your police, fire, and emergency management report?
Yes, because we do have somebody from the fire department that's awake today, or former fire department.
She said who?
She's looking.
Joanne said who?
Any questions at all?
She's a resident.
Resident.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Nope,
Thank you.
that's it. Thank you. Do we have an update from the planning commission?
Madam Chair, that our next meeting will be the first Thursday in March, and we will be finishing up our session to do our strategic planning, and one of the things on the agenda will be addressing the issue that we discussed at the old Yeadon Swim Club. And we will also be planning our session to meet with the community to share what we've come up with and get their input. So we'll be planning that and then announcing that.
And what's the date? You said the date for
So
the-
our next plan, we meet the first Thursdays of the month.
Oh, okay, so in March, okay.
In March.
All right, got it. I thought you said next Thursday, all right. Thank you. And recreation?
Our report stands as submitted. Flag Day is June 14th.
Thank you so much. All
Oh,
right.
next meeting is Tuesday, March 4th. for recreation.
Wait, he's running. He's running.
He's used to me talking a little longer.
Could say used to be. No, the recreation report stands from caucus. Also wanted to let you know that we do have some dates for the rain barrel workshops coming up, and we're looking at one of 6 dates in May to make this happen. So we want to work around the committee meetings for recreation and code. But I will let you know as soon as possible.
All right.
Madam Chair.
Madam Vice President?
Question for the borough manager. What is the turnaround time for our legislative meetings and caucus meetings, videos to be posted online?
We shoot for a couple days. I do know that I want to say December did not get posted right away. We have a we just missed it. We'll do better there.
So what is what's the turnaround?
Yeah, like I said, just a few days.
A few days?
Yeah.
Okay, can we ensure moving forward that these videos are posted so no one is left behind
Yes,
in
ma'am.
information?
The minutes and the videos should be posted in a few days. Yep,
Thank you
absolutely.
very much.
And Madam President, if I may, Counselor Peets and I will be working on veterans posters along with Rafi. Are you still?
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
So we'll be speaking with him next month in order to start getting all of that situated. Thank you.
All right, so in this city of champions, I would ask for this meeting to be adjourned.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All right, this meeting is adjourned. Go Birds.
Go Birds.